Good afternoon. It's August 22nd, 2023. And today, really, we had I would just say a downward range day. Um, you can see on the, oh, whoops. You can see on the daily chart. Um, so we bounced off that midline uh, of the range. And we're also, coming off the highs of this channel. It looked bullish in the overnight from this move up. But you can see we're just 8 minutes till market close, so we're probably going to finish the day with a bearish bar. Let's go through these trades and this price action. So I'd probably have the move in the overnight drawn. Yeah, probably like that. And so you get the break and move to a new high. I think 5 o'clock comes somewhere as we're topping out. Yeah. Oops. So I don't think you would want to take this lower high, but they trap the longs right here at the EMA, fooling them into thinking they're getting a second entry, and then it has a bearish bar that closes through the EMA, comes back, tests it. This is a pretty good move down. You can see 1, 2 bearish bars that are really strong, and then this bearish bar that's really strong. Not so much these ones. Maybe this one, you get a pullback. So maybe you look at this one as a failure. But I think on a smaller chart, this one's probably the failure. You could also look at this as a double top. First entry failed, second entry long. But I liked going long here going short here because of the gap that we had on the chart. Prices trended up in the overnight, and these were the highs from yesterday. So there's reason to believe that they would try and close that gap, and look at where that gap ends up being, the midline of the overnight range. So, visually these don't look that great, but with the context, it's reasonable to think that a correction down to here might happen, and that's a lot of downside, 29. So you'd almost get a 10-point move there. So you can see kind of, I guess, the move down looks kind of weak. These bars aren't very strong. I think everyone just had a feeling where this was going, though. Anyway, we come down here. Let's see if this is something. Perhaps this is the channel that people were playing. You get an overshoot that leads to a break. First entry, second entry, not a good signal bar. Then you get this move right here. Very bearish signal bar. I don't think you can take that, unfortunately. And come down, sell off. You don't really know that this is a channel. You really don't know that. Maybe you could have had it right here when we get this. Technically, you get confirmation down here, but usually you don't draw downtrends based on the lows. So that being the case, if you did have this trend line drawn, this would be your high, and you have a double test, hidden second entry short, super bearish bar. Look at that follow through. And unfortunately, it stops right here at that level of support. But that is some really strong selling. And the only reason it didn't go through here is probably because there was a lot of buyers waiting to buy this back. Then it ends up going further, and given the strength, you might hold that, and you could get like a 13 points probably. Let's see if you go for the measured move. Let's put the midline here. That's perfect. It's a perfect measure move right there. So you could have gotten in on almost that whole move. But anyway, it sells off. I don't think there's another way to get in on this. And then we bounce at that level of support again. Second entry short doesn't set up. And we get some buying coming back. You can see we get just past this midline before we sell off again. And you get another double test with a really bearish signal bar. And after this move up, you have a break and a couple legs up to a new high. So maybe you consider that, but just not the greatest setup. It looks congested. Bounce at this closing price from yesterday. And we get this level of resistance. And I just don't think there's a good setup in here, unfortunately. And then we start selling off again. But it's not really clear what's happening. The channel isn't clear, I should say. I don't think you can take this one, even though it is a second entry short and a failure. I don't think you can take it. It looks like we're at the lows of a range. But we continue selling off. Pretty strong move down right here. And then it just goes sideways, and then we bounce off the channel. You get confirmation here, but you don't know. I don't know. It's just not a great bet since this is a lot of overlap. Then you get a nice sell-off here, slight overshoot, and it reverses. And maybe you take that because we're breaking below the overnight lows. And it is below the EMA, but we just had an overshoot. We just broke out to the low side, and look at how strong the buying is that comes in. Now you do get some selling right here. That was a nice move up. So there's reasons to like that. We come up here, and that channel just finds resistance at the channel for the day. And that confirms our channel to the high side, right? Oh, no, not really. It's just it would just be a measured move of the midline at that point. So anyway, we get a really strong sell-off right here. Boom, 3 bearish bars closing on or near their low. Very big bars too. And then you get a 2-legged pullback here. So I marked this green, but it basically looks like a second entry short. And after this move down, you might want to take that risk. And this looks like a channel. So this one is really just a double test, so not the greatest setup. And you see where it looks like we're in a channel. A lot of overlap in here that I don't think you want to take. But then, so we're going sideways. We're below the overnight lows, so we're at the lows of the day. And you get this really strong bull move up. And then you get this move down. You can see we're making higher lows. This move down looks strong too, but compared to the move up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bull bars closing on or near their high, whereas here you have a strong bear bar, strong bull bar, strong bear bar, doji, strong bear bar, another bullish doji, strong bear bar, and then a bullish bar. So maybe you take this one far away from the EMA, but when you get that first entry failed second entry long, at this point to me, it looked like the bulls were stronger. I like that reversal, and that gives you a nice strong move up. But then the bears come back, and you get a really strong sell-off. And I want to look at this one because you could have gotten in on this whole move if you jumped in on like one of these lower highs or something, or at least you would know exactly where this is going. So first of all, quite simply, we have our first break of this large channel, and we don't have a new low. So you could look at that there and look, if you drag this was our low of the day. Look at where we went, about 1 or 2 ticks to a new low, or beyond this low to a new low. So you have that, but you also have this break lower, and there's a gap here. Our candle bodies didn't close or didn't overlap with the candle bodies from this low. So that's a gap. So if you just draw, I think I actually had it like this, which is almost perfect. So if you draw it to the top of that swing, that makes a measured move down. And also you have a break of this channel, so you're looking for a new low. So I think that's why a lot of people took profits there. There's a lot of information that said that was where we were going. But unfortunately, not a really easy way to get into this move down. So that's how I saw it today. I hope everyone had a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.